So first of all, good morning to everybody out there in Etherspace. This is a great opportunity, and thank you for the introduction. This is a great opportunity to speak to this virtual workshop. As noted, I'm the Assistant Director for Environmental Health at the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy. OSTP is a great place to work. It traces its origins through the science advisor to the President, back to World War II and the dawn of the space race and atomic age. My branch is Environment and Energy, where we focus our attention on, let's say, big environmental S&T challenges of the day. One of the best aspects of working for the President is that when the call goes out, like the emphasis on water, people like you all on the Federal Laboratory Consortium run with this challenge, just like this workshop. I'll be talking about water issues facing the country, technologies, best practices, and strategies for supporting water-related efforts. The breadth is somewhat daunting given the extent of ongoing federal and state activities dealing with water. Don't overlook the role of the states, since states have primacy on many water issues. So to avoid running through a massive list of agencies and activities, I will focus on the big picture drivers and how they open opportunities for tech innovation and tech transfer in the water sector. The topic of water technologies is very timely. For water quantity, watch for my dyslexia on these terms. Quantity is how much water, quality is how good is the water. We have just experienced a major drought in the West, coupled with floods in the South. These water quantity challenges will only be magnified as climate change impacts increase, making these same droughts and floods more extreme and more common. For water quality, moving from quantity to quality now, a couple of years back, we saw the Toledo water system close down temporarily because of harmful algal blooms and toxins. And over the course of the last year, we have watched the Flint water crisis unfold with lead leaching from corroded drinking water pipes. We are now at a point in time where we need to re-emphasize the fundamental importance of providing quality, affordable drinking water for all. Water is precious. As you can imagine, the Obama administration has instructed White House offices and federal agencies to intensify our engagement on water issues. We have a problem, so let's solve it. What I love about OSTP and the FLC concept is the willingness, indeed enthusiasm, to bring new ideas to the fore. If past actions haven't worked, try something new, be radical and creative. The intensified focus on water quantity and quality was amplified, as noted earlier, by the White House hosting the March 2016 Water Summit. You can find all these actions on the web, so I won't inundate you with URLs and acronyms. That wasn't meant to be a pun, inundate, but it sort of works. Water quality issues, droughts, floods, are being followed up under an executive order from President Obama and the White House Long-Term Drought Resilience Federal Action Plan. Federal drought efforts are now coordinated through the National Drought Resilience Partnership, the NDRP. Okay, that was an acronym, but it's an important one. So water quality issues are very broad and challenging. The Flint and Toledo experiences act as sentinels to national infrastructure and sustainability challenges. There are a number of parallel high efforts moving to address these water quality challenges. Among these, we have the EPA, who you'll hear from later today, is undertaking major revisions to the lead and copper rule. This is a big effort to address this particular aspect, lead and copper, of the huge challenge posed by our aging drinking water infrastructure. And the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology, PCAST, think Nobel Prize winners and leaders in industry and academia, will soon provide advice on drinking water science and technology, needs and opportunities. These recommendations will give a boost to the innovation and technology space related to drinking water. PCAST are covering the breadth of drinking water system needs, from source waters to treatment plants to distribution systems to taps in households. The recommendations will go beyond lead to include the numerous other drinking water contaminants potentially found, chemical, biological, meaning bacteria, viruses, and protozoans, and physical, including radiation. Implementation of the PCAST recommendations will get started in this administration, but ultimately devolve to agencies and budgets in future years. So this dynamism follows our instructions to, quote, race through the finish line of this administration. So let's talk about tech innovation in general. One of the most uplifting aspects of working at OSTP is the emphasis on technology advancement, open innovation, and using prize competitions. This comes from the president down, and it builds on the bipartisan support in the America Competes Act. If there is an intractable problem, don't keep doing things that haven't succeeded. Be brave and go after problems in a different way. Yep, I drank the Kool-Aid on innovation and grand challenges. Working at OSTP provides a really, really uplifting vantage point to see what a great future we have as we drive these new technologies forward, across the board, in technology, science, environment, energy, security, STEM ed, social and behavioral science. One example of open innovation that I have been involved in is the Challenging Nutrients Coalition. OSTP has been working with federal agencies, universities, and not-for-profits who are undertaking prize challenges to better manage nutrients and reduce pollution of waterways. Nutrients are great for growing plants and food, but very bad when they get into waterways or estuaries, where they can cause overgrowth, slime, hypoxia, and death of ecosystems. Not to mention the potential health consequences if nitrate concentrations are too high in drinking water. OSTP's role has been to use the White House convening cache to help coordinate and encourage the great activities going on around nutrients, and to stimulate more. Later this morning, you will hear from one of our colleagues, the Everglades Foundation, on their $10 million Open Innovation Challenge to recover phosphorus from freshwater systems. Another prize challenge that we have been working on is to develop affordable, real-time nitrate and phosphorus sensors that can function from pristine ocean to murky bay waters. So this is sort of potentially a forerunner of a number of real-time sensor technology opportunities for drinking water systems, which is something I presume FLC members will be very interested in. The Nutrient Sensor Challenge has been supported by EPA and NOAA and informed by numerous other agencies, including the US Geological Survey, the Department of Agriculture, and NIST, giving Dave Holbrook a shout out here. Field implementation is being conducted by the Alliance for Coastal Technologies, a consortium of universities supported by the Integrated Ocean Observing System, IOS. The Nutrient Sensor Challenge has been a really uplifting experience. The willingness of participants to work together, the drive to new and more affordable technologies, the enthusiasm and talent, and the fun of watching researchers dodge jellyfish during field testing in the Chesapeake Bay. This is hands-on stuff to develop and test new technologies. Engaging in these technology challenges highlights many of the issues that are routinely central to FLC consideration. Market need, for instance, the University of Maryland conducted a needs survey for the nutrient sensors. So this is a market stimulation challenge. So those needs are very important. Economics of cost, how to figure out the right price point of interest. Intellectual property, and how to address the various IP needs of participants, and of course, the valley of death. I would note that with the sensor challenge, we are now moving to support pilot testing to familiarize user communities and tailor to their needs. The Nutrient Sensor Challenge has taken several years from concept to testing, but the nation, indeed the planet, and you can see the planet at the edge of my screen, I hope here, needs to better address nutrient management and pollution. And this is just one aspect of the many water challenges. It's our job to push the margins of technology and to help take the risks necessary to open up future opportunities. So what do these oncoming policy actions and recommendations on water mean to the FLC? First, it's pretty clear that we are doubling down on water, and we will be looking for new technologies over ensuing years. Second, these opportunities will likely cover a big spectrum of needs, including water quantity like desal and reuse, water quality covering source waters, treatment systems, distribution networks, even premise plumbing, real-time monitoring of priority contaminants, and these actions will cover many types of drinking water systems, not just big regulated systems, but also small systems and wells that supply tens of millions of US households. Third, we are encouraging agencies to go beyond their comfort zones, to get engaged in open innovation, even if the outcome is uncertain. So participate in the tech challenges, get your inventions out there, help out external stakeholders with appropriate use of federal facilities. That's an interesting opportunity. A couple of examples of accessing federal facilities. In the midst of the Gulf of Mexico oil spill tragedy from a few years back, the X Prize Foundation rapidly tested new oil recovery techniques at an Interior Department test facility. DoD is currently helping the DOE Wave Energy Prize contestants with facilities at the David Taylor Model Basin here in Carter Rock, Maryland. Imagine how hard it would be if private sector prize conveners had to build these test facilities de novo. But Uncle Sam has them already, and we can work together. Fourth, stay tuned. Watch these spaces as opportunities come up. The OSTP blog site, challenges.gov, the Interagency Subcommittee on Water Availability and Quality, that's SWAC, your professional associations. There'll be lots of these challenges coming up over ensuing years. And finally, this is really important, recognize that technology innovation, what you do, what you do has great support and appreciation at the highest levels of government. You can be assured that the White House has your back on pushing to advance new technologies and to get these out to the private sector. So that's just a quick overview, and thanks for your attention. So at risk of getting into technology issues, do people have any questions, or have I managed to burn up the entire allotted time? But anyway, thank you very much for being out there in Etherland, and looking forward to listening to the presentations today. Thank you very much.